Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 22 in the book of 1 Peter. We're in a passage today that has the great line in it, and let's remember it, brought safely through. The question is, can Jesus bring us safely through? So here's what we're going to ask, first of all, is can we make it through our own judgment? The answer is no. Can we make it through to God without help? The answer is no. Can we bring ourselves through to God? The answer is no. And today's passage is going to be in the context of a flood. The flood represents judgment. So can we make it through the flood of judgment on our own? The answer is no. So then we looked at Jesus. Can Jesus bring us safely through all the way to God? The answer is yes. And did God provide a rescue operation? The answer is going to be yes. So here's how it's going to picture out, and watch this one read the passage. On one hand, there's going to be an olden day story, and it's about Noah and an ark and a rescue and saving people from the judgment of this big flood. And then there's Jesus, who in his suffering and being put to death, and he's going to enact another rescue operation to save us from judgment. So observe those and compare and contrast. Here it is. This is from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 18. For Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the Spirit, in which he went and proclaimed to the spirits in prison, because they formerly did not obey, when God's patience waited in the days of Noah, when the ark was being prepared, in which a few, that is, 8 persons, were brought safely through. There's our big line. Were brought safely through water. Baptism, which corresponds to this, now saves you, not as a removal of dirt from the body, but as an appeal to God for good conscience through the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who has gone into heaven and is at the right hand of God with angels, authorities, and powers, having been subjected to him. All right, so first of all, we got to talk about the rescue boat. So in Noah's days, an ark was prepared, and a rescue boat was kind of literally constructed, and people got saved through the boat, 8 of them. Well, let's talk about the rescue boat that has been sent for you, for us. Well, the rescue boat is Jesus. And as he is put to death in the flesh, and as he suffered, that's kind of the bad side of it. The good side of it, he's made alive in the Spirit. That is, he conquered death. He is currently alive, even though was put to death. Secondly, he accomplished once for all time, victory over the penalty of sin. So first of all, he conquers death. Secondly, he conquers sin. Thirdly, he substitutes the righteous for the unrighteous, substitutes himself for the unrighteousness of you, if you choose to. Fourthly, he subjugates spirits. So there's disobedient spirits that are mentioned here, and they're in prison, so they're in a place they don't want to be. So they're in subjection to him. So Christ is powerful enough over the spirits to put them away. Then he's at this position where he's in heaven. He's at the right hand of God, which is a representation and literal place of power. And then finally, angels, authorities, and powers, and I think these are the ones that are not disobedient, are also subjugated to him, under him, placed under him. So all those things, all those 5 or 6 things together say, what kind of a rescue boat do we have? Is it strong enough? Is it powerful enough? The answer is yes, clearly. So then the next big question is, well, how do I get on the rescue boat? Well, in Noah's day, how did you get on the boat? Well, you had to be attached to Noah. Modernly, we have to be attached to Jesus. So with Noah, you had to be in his family. There was no other way to be brought safely through than to be in Noah's family. And similarly, there's no other way, there's no other rescue other than to be attached to Jesus. So what does it say about that? It says that baptism saves you. Well, does baptism save us, period? The answer is no. There's not a period there. It goes on. It says baptism, which corresponds to this, comma, now saves you, comma, not as a removal of dirt from the body. And then here it is, but as an appeal to God for a good conscience. So let's talk about the appeal. So this is the part that you have to do. This is, he's done the rescue operation. He sent a boat. The boat's coming for you if you appeal. Here's the deal. The appeal, all it means is to ask, a request. Humbly knock. Humbly knock. Can I get on your powerful resurrection boat? It's an appeal to God. It's requesting. It's asking. It's turning to him in faith, inquiring. It's the question that we ask of God is, will you please save me? Can I get on your rescue boat? Well, how much room is there in the boat? The answer is enough for everybody. There is sufficient power. And the passage that it talks about Jesus is it talks, hey, I've conquered sin. I've conquered death. I've substituted righteousness. I've subjugated spirits. I'm in heaven. I'm in the position of power. Do I have the power to do this? The answer is yes. Well, how about the desire? Do I have the desire for this? 1 Timothy 2:4, quote, he desires all people to be saved. Unquote. This is the question he wants to hear. He wants you to appeal. He wants you to ask. He wants you to request. I have the power to do this. Yes, I can pull you out of the water. Yes, I can save you from judgment. Yes, I can bring you safely through. I've been waiting for you to ask, to appeal. He's got the power. The question is, do you have the appeal? Do you have the ask in you? So, do you wish to request of Jesus? Here's what you say. Will you save me? If you say that, the answer is going to be yes. Will you bring me safely through? The answer is going to be yes. Does he have the power to bring us safely through? The answer is yes. How do we get on that boat? We appeal. We ask. We request. Please do so today. He'll bring you safely through. Thanks for listening.